James, seeing as the injury list is mounting up a bit, we'll start with that. Curtis Weston, how's he after the weekend?
He's sore. We'll have to see how he gets on the next 24 hours. He's going to be sore for a little while. So we've got to manage it, whether he can play, how long he can play for, and make sure when he's in that high-risk zone during games, we have to manage it, and he has to come off like he did the other day.
Is this a kind of natural part of the end of a season anyway, in that some people will be having little knocks and it's just a case of getting them through games as best as you can?
Yeah, as a former player and in teams that have gone for promotion pushers, you don't play fit towards the end of the season. You're never 100%. There's always something niggly, whether that takes 1% off you or 5% or whatever it is. But what Nick's job is and my job is to make sure we don't put the players at high risk and we lose them for a long sustained period of time. Now the longer injuries we've had have been freak ones. You would expect to get one injury like that a season or every 18 months. We've had 3 in 5 months, which has been so unlucky. And I feel for all 3 lads.
Yeah, in terms of Kwasi, obviously the news came out the weekend that that's going to be a substantial period out. Is he the kind of character that you feel can come back stronger from this?
Oh, he will. He'll come back stronger. There's no doubt. It's no risk to his career. ACLs these days can get repaired, and often players come back stronger. And I have no doubt his strength of mind, his character, and also his support network will have a major influence on him coming back even stronger. And fortunately, we've still got him under contract when he comes back, and I'm sure the longer wait to see him in the stadium live for the fans, because the fans are the bedrock of any football club, which has been underlined in the last 24 hours. They'll be excited to see him, and he'll be excited to play in front of them.
How's he doing personally after the news? Is he the kind of player that could sort of deal with it mentally, and he's now just got like a new focus in terms of a plan of, right, this is what I've got to do to get back?
Well, we're close. Obviously, I've known him for quite a period, so we have an open relationship in terms of open communication, 360, and it's not easy when you first hear that news. It's the wait. Obviously, he had to wait 3 days for the results because it happened late Tuesday night, so he couldn't get into the scan till Thursday. And we found out Friday, so it was a little bit of a wait there, 3 days, and you're obviously a little bit petrified, if you like, about the worst case scenario, and it was the worst case scenario. But he's dealt with it now. He's in a lot brighter spirits in the last few days, and all he wants is for us to finish the job, and we're going to do our utmost, as we showed on Saturday. Even the loss, we tried, and it wasn't from the want of trying and dominating that game, but it just wasn't meant to be on Saturday.
In terms of the sort of reaction from the wider squad to the injury, because it's always a big blow, particularly when you lose your top scorer. Are you concerned about the sort of adverse impact of that, or is it the kind of thing that can bring people together more?
I think it brings people together. As I said, I was pleased with the performance. There didn't look like there was any adverse reaction on Saturday at all. We played our usual game. We had the usual influence on the game. The pattern of the game after the first 15, 20 minutes, the pattern was exactly how we thought it was going to be. And the statistics back that up. The only statistic that matters, though, is they scored 2 and we scored 1. There's 2 goals, 1 referee, 2 linesmen. The grass is green. It's the same environment for both teams, and we didn't manage that quite well enough, the small details in both 18-yard boxes, to win the game, even though we had far greater opportunities in both 18-yard boxes to deal with that. What I mean by that is they had minimal penalty area entries, and we had vast penalty area entries to score.
Is there any lesson to learn in terms of going right to the end and that concentration all the way through? Because like you said, overall, very positive performance and one chance really in the second half, and it's got them the win. Yeah,
it's at this level, often 3 to 4 mistakes or 3 to 4 things that you can intervene in a sequence of an opposition attack lead to a goal. At the Premier League, it might be 1. So that's the different levels. And there was 4 things that led to the second goal. George has obviously misplaced a pass on the edge of the box. We haven't stopped the counter on the far left. It's been switched. Joseph hasn't followed the player in, and Lawrence hasn't come out when the ball's come backwards. So it's a whole sequence of things, and there's 4 things there that I've just mentioned that led to the second goal.
In terms of Lawrence, you just mentioned him. Pleased for him to get a goal, because with Kwasi and Tom out, everybody is going to have to step up and contribute now.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with him to get the goal, but I'm mostly pleased how he's been open with his communication and hold his hands up to obviously knowing that he should have come out for the second goal. But that happens. He's 24 still. Things like that. He's not the polished article. As a centre back in your prime years, you're learning your experiences. You might be 27, 28. So he's still learning. But for all the great things he's done since I've been in the building, that's one thing that he's held his hands up to, and you take that for all the good things he's done and all the points we've picked up and all the clean sheets he's been part of.
You were clearly very unhappy with the officials for a number of reasons at the weekend. Now you've had a bit of time to reflect. Do you stand by that? Are you still as frustrated about the decisions that went against you?
I'm worse, because it should have been 3 penalties, not 2. I've actually missed one at the start as well. So there's another foul from a corner that's a blatant penalty. So there should have been 3 penalties, not 2, which is scandalous.
Yeah, it must feel at the minute like there's a lot of circumstances that are testing you and coming against you. But you've shown, I suppose, in the past that whenever you have lost and things have gone against you, that you've bounced back quickly. I imagine that's what you're hoping happens again. Yeah,
you're quite right. It's we can only control what we can control. There's a few matters that probably led to a bitter taste in your mouth afterwards. It just didn't feel right. It wasn't right what happened. The last one on George, he's 5 yards away. It's a blatant penalty, as blatant as it can be. It wasn't meant to be, but we'll use all of that to our advantage, and it won't wilt our willpower to want to achieve this year. And we've got to do it ourselves, and hope that tomorrow night that the officiating is done correctly.
Does the fact that a loss sort of comes as a bit of a shock now and such a disappointment suggest just how far that you've come as a club? Because you walked into a club that was sort of used to losing.
Well, we want to make sure that if we lose, and I said it to the players straight after the game, I have no problem with their attitude and their desire and their pride to wear the badge. And any supporter that questions that clearly didn't see the game, because the players have put their utmost into that, right to the death. We're trying to equalise at the end there, and we got the penalty. It should have been a penalty. It didn't happen, but we're still pushing. And at the end of the game, we didn't have Hollis, Gunning, Weston and Asante on the pitch through your spine. And that can affect any team. If you went through the middle of Chelsea's team or Man City's team and took out the centre half, the central midfielder and the striker that's been ever present in our run, it's going to affect any team. That's not to say the players coming in aren't good enough. They were. We showed on Saturday that we should have won the game. We still had the positional play to really take advantage of the opposition. We didn't do that. Credit to Bromley. They scored 2 goals. They had probably about 30% of possession, and they only had about 4 shots. We had 19 shots, and we managed to score 1. That's the difference.
There's 5 teams now separated by just a point around you in the National League table. Does this show just how tight it's likely to be, and that we will see a little bit of back and forth over the coming weeks?
I think even on our run of the 5 wins, I was alluding to there's going to be ups and downs. I've been in this position before in a management team vying for the playoffs in the back end. It's exciting. We should be really pleased that we're involved in it from where we were in November, December time. It's remarkable that we're involved, and we've got to enjoy it as well. Remember to enjoy it. This is what it's about. It's about coming together. It's about overcoming the adversity together and collectively pushing through that and learning from that individually, which, I'm really pleased with the players. Fraser for the first goal at half-time suggested he could have done better. And Lawrence at the end as well, straight away, he knows he should have probably stepped up for that second goal, but they won't lose confidence because they've got a manager and a management team here that accept people making mistakes, honest mistakes. It's how you react to that, and they're reacting really well. And the training today, I'm sure, will be at the intensity it has been for the last 3 months, and we're going to push into Tuesday night and give it a right go again.
Yeah, certainly. It's mistakes very much part of the game and how you deal with them. In terms of your next opponents, Halifax, first time that you've played them this season, what do you make of them and the challenge that they'll bring to your team?
Well, they're in these positions, these league positions, the last 2 seasons for a reason. They've recruited well again, and they're looking to get that playoff place like us. It's no different. You know, we're in probably exactly the same position. We've got a couple of games in hand, and they come to our place first. We go to theirs last game of the season. So it's 2 big games. This is the first of the 2 games against Halifax.
Couple of goals down against Kings Lynn and came back to win 4-2. That shows a good bit of spirit and resolve, doesn't it, from their perspective?
It does. We'll know what their strengths are. We've had a good look at them, and we're ready to go. There'll be no doubt that it'll be a tight affair again. And hold on to your hats, because it's going to be some ride this last 7 weeks.